The multiverse had never been silent before, but in that singular moment, everything stopped. The Grand Priest, standing in his ethereal realm beyond comprehension, felt something he had not experienced in eons: uncertainty. His eyes, usually calm and all-knowing, flickered with concern as he gazed across the infinite cosmos. The angels, those divine beings who maintained the balance of creation itself, suddenly froze mid-motion, as if time had skipped a heartbeat. Something was wrong. Something was changing. And for the first time in the history of existence, the divine order felt threatened. Far away from the celestial palace, on a small blue planet called Earth, Goku stood alone in an empty field. The wind carried the scent of fresh grass, and the sun hung lazily in the afternoon sky. He had been training, pushing his body beyond limits that would shatter ordinary mortals, but today felt different. His movements were precise, his breathing controlled, yet there was an unfamiliar sensation building within him. Ultra instinct flickered around his body like silver flames, but then something else appeared. A golden aura crackling with divine lightning that seemed to pierce through the fabric of reality itself. Goku stopped mid-punch, staring at his hands. The golden energy danced between his fingers, warm yet impossibly powerful. It didn't feel like God Ki. It didn't feel like Ultra Instinct. It felt like something entirely new, something that had been sleeping inside him, waiting for the right moment to awaken. He clenched his fist, and the golden aura intensified, sending shockwaves through the ground beneath his feet. Trees in the distance bent backward from the pressure, and clouds in the sky scattered as if pushed by an invisible force. Whis, who had been observing from a distance, felt his staff tremble. His expression, usually composed and slightly amused, turned serious. He whispered to himself, his voice barely audible against the wind. That energy, it doesn't belong to the gods. Beerus, the god of destruction, who had been napping under a nearby tree, jolted awake. His instincts screamed danger. He had felt countless powerful energies before. He had witnessed the rise of Super Saiyan God, the mastery of Ultra Instinct, the fusion of Gogeta and Vegito. But this was different. This was something that made even his divine blood run cold. His ears twitched nervously, and for the first time in millennia, Beerus felt genuine fear. The Grand Priest called an emergency gathering. Angels from all 12 universes appeared instantly, their faces showing rare confusion. Vados, Martinu, Campari, and all the others materialized in the Grand Hall, their usual serene expressions replaced with concern. The Supreme Kais arrived next, trembling with anxiety. Shin, the Supreme Kai of Universe 7, looked particularly worried, remembering all the times Goku had pushed beyond what should have been possible. Even the gods of destruction, beings who commanded fear and respect across the cosmos, stood in uneasy silence. Champa fidgeted nervously. Liquir crossed his arms defensively. Quitella's eyes darted around suspiciously. The Grand Priest floated above them all, his hands clasped behind his back, his expression unreadable. The atmosphere was thick with tension, something that rarely occurred in the presence of such powerful beings. He spoke, his voice resonating through the minds of every divine being present. An ancient prophecy has begun to manifest. The scrolls of creation, written before the first universe was born, speak of a transformation that transcends the divine hierarchy. When a mortal surpasses instinct itself, when he breaks through the ceiling that separates creation from the absolute, a golden conqueror shall rise. This being will not follow the rules of our system. This being will exist outside the natural order. The room erupted in shocked murmurs, gods arguing with angels, Supreme Kais whispering frantically among themselves. Beerus stepped forward, his voice cutting through the chaos. Are you saying Goku has awakened something that shouldn't exist? Something that threatens all of us?
The Grand Priest nodded slowly, his face grave. This form is neither Ultra Instinct nor God Ki. It exists beyond our system, beyond the rules that govern power itself, and if it continues to evolve unchecked, it may unravel the very foundation of our reality. The dimensional barriers could collapse, time could fracture, existence itself could become unstable. Champa shouted, "Then we destroy him now before it's too late." But Whis intervened, raising his staff. Destroying him might trigger the very catastrophe we're trying to prevent. This energy is connected to his life force, to his very soul. If he dies while in this state, the energy could explode outward and erase everything within 100 universes.
Back on Earth, Goku could feel the power growing stronger with each passing moment. He tried to suppress it, to push it back down, but it responded to his emotions, to his desire to protect those he loved. The energy pulsed with his heartbeat, synchronized with his breathing, becoming more and more a part of who he was. He could sense everything, every living being on Earth, every star in the galaxy, every universe in existence. The boundaries between self and cosmos were beginning to blur. Vegeta arrived, sensing the unusual energy from miles away. He landed hard, his boots cracking the ground, and stared at Goku with eyes wide with a mixture of shock and jealousy. "Kakarot, what is this power? How did you reach this level? I've been training just as hard, pushing myself to the absolute limit, and yet you've gone somewhere I can't follow." Before he could finish, Goku's aura exploded outward. The golden light consumed everything, brighter than the sun, hotter than any star. His hair began to change, not the familiar golden blonde of Super Saiyan, but something liquid, shimmering like molten light that flowed and moved as if alive. His eyes glowed with an intensity that made even Vegeta take a step back. The ground beneath Goku cracked and shattered, chunks of earth rising into the air, defying gravity. The sky above split open like torn fabric, revealing glimpses of other dimensions, purple voids, crystalline structures, realms of pure energy. The Grand Priest appeared before Goku in a flash of light, his presence bringing a momentary calm to the chaos. The golden aura retreated slightly, as if recognizing a higher authority. "Goku, do you understand what you have awakened?" Goku looked at him, struggling to speak through the overwhelming energy coursing through his veins. His voice came out strained, barely human. "I don't know what this is. I just felt it inside me, deep in my core, and it won't stop growing. It feels like it's always been there, waiting." The Grand Priest studied him carefully, his ancient eyes seeing things beyond mortal perception. This is the power spoken of in the oldest prophecies, written in languages that no longer exist, a power that even the Omni-King cannot fully comprehend or control. If you lose yourself to it, the multiverse itself may cease to exist. But if you master it, he paused, a slight smile crossing his usually stoic face, you may become something beyond gods, beyond angels, beyond everything we know. You may become the bridge between mortal and absolute.
The other gods of destruction arrived en masse, their combined presence shaking the earth. They formed a circle around Goku, 12 gods channeling their divine energy simultaneously. Their combined destructive power created a barrier meant to contain him, a prison of pure Hakai energy that could erase anything from existence. But the golden aura pushed back effortlessly, as if swatting away insects. Champa launched an attack first, a massive sphere of purple destructive energy, powerful enough to erase entire solar systems. It struck Goku directly, creating an explosion that lit up the sky like a second sun. The shockwave flattened mountains hundreds of miles away. But when the smoke cleared, Goku stood untouched, his golden aura having absorbed the attack completely, neutralizing it as if it had never existed. Beerus joined the assault, his own Hakai energy combining with the other destroyers. They attacked in unison, 12 gods releasing their full destructive power simultaneously. The combined force was enough to erase multiple universes from existence, to unmake reality itself. Purple energy beams, spheres of annihilation, waves of erasure, all converged on Goku's position. The Earth should have been destroyed instantly, but Wish's barrier held, straining under the impossible pressure. But Goku's transformation had reached a critical point. The golden aura intensified beyond measure, and his eyes closed. For a moment, everything became still. The attacks froze in mid-air, the gods stopped moving, time itself seemed to pause. Then Goku opened his eyes, and they glowed with a calm, absolute dominance that made even the Grand Priest take notice. This was the complete golden form. His hair flowed like liquid starlight, each strand radiating divine power, moving independently as if alive. His body was surrounded by crackling golden lightning that seemed to connect to every point in space and time simultaneously. His aura didn't explode outward violently. Instead, it expanded gently like a sunrise, pushing against the combined might of the gods of destruction as if they were children playing at war. Goku raised his hand, not to attack, but to shield. The destructive energy that had been thrown at him, energy that could erase existence itself, began to swirl around him like a storm. Instead of fighting it, he absorbed it, pulling it into his golden aura. The power that had threatened to destroy everything was now being transformed, purified, converted into something new and beautiful. The Grand Priest watched in amazement, his eyes widening for the first time in eons. Incredible! He's not destroying the energy, he's not deflecting it, he's restoring balance to it, transforming destruction back into creation. Goku's voice echoed through the minds of everyone present, calm and clear, carrying a weight of absolute truth. I don't want to conquer anyone. I don't want to rule over gods or mortals. I just want to protect what matters to me, my family, my friends, my world. This power, it's not about domination. It's about breaking through the limits that hold us back, the barriers that say mortals can never reach certain heights. I'm proving that those limits are illusions. The prophecy had been misunderstood for eons. The divine conqueror was never meant to be someone who conquered the gods or ruled over creation with an iron fist. It was someone who conquered the very limits placed by the divine system itself. Someone who proved that mortal potential was truly infinite, unbounded by the rules that governed even the highest beings. The Omni-King appeared, his small form floating beside the Grand Priest. Everyone bowed immediately, even the gods of destruction, even Goku, though his golden form continued to shine brilliantly. Zeno looked at Goku with his large, innocent eyes, tilting his head curiously like a child observing something fascinating. Then, slowly, a smile spread across his face. "He's interesting," Zeno said simply, his childlike voice carrying more weight than any proclamation. The Grand Priest nodded respectfully. "Indeed, Your Excellency. Perhaps we have been wrong about the limits of mortal potential. Perhaps the system we created has become a cage rather than a foundation." Goku's golden aura began to fade, not because he was losing power, but because he was learning to control it, to internalize it. The cracks in the sky sealed themselves like wounds healing. The trembling planet stabilized. Reality itself seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, tension releasing from the very fabric of existence. Goku returned to his base form, exhausted but smiling that characteristic grin that had carried him through every battle. Beerus approached him, his expression complex, a mixture of relief, frustration, and grudging respect. "Goku, do you realize what you've done? You've created a power that even we gods don't understand. You've broken rules that have existed since before time began." Goku scratched the back of his head sheepishly, that humble gesture so at odds with the cosmic power he had just displayed. "I didn't mean to cause trouble. I was just training like always, pushing myself, and it happened naturally." Whis chuckled softly, his usual playful demeanor returning. "Of course it did. You have a remarkable talent for breaking the impossible, Goku. I suspect this won't be the last time you surprise us all." As the divine beings began to depart, returning to their respective universes through shimmering portals, the Grand Priest remained. He looked at Goku with an expression that might have been respect, might have been curiosity. "Remember, Goku, this power you have awakened is both a gift and a responsibility. Use it wisely. The multiverse is watching." Goku nodded seriously, his usual playfulness replaced with genuine understanding. "I will. I promise on my honor as a martial artist." The Grand Priest vanished in a flash of light, leaving Goku alone with his friends and family. Vegeta stood with his arms crossed, his pride wounded, but his determination burning brighter than ever. "Kakarot, I will surpass this form. Whatever it takes, however long it requires, I will reach this level and go beyond it. Mark my words." Goku grinned widely, that competitive spark returning to his eyes. "I'm counting on it, Vegeta. That's what makes us stronger, pushing each other to new heights." As the sun set over Earth, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold that seemed to mirror Goku's new form, he looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, beyond the universes, beyond the divine realms, new challenges awaited. Stronger opponents, greater mysteries, higher peaks to climb. But for now, he was content. He had discovered a new level of power, not through conquering others, but by conquering himself, by breaking through his own limitations. The golden form wasn't just a transformation, it was proof that the human spirit, the Saiyan heart, could break through any barrier, surpass any limit, and stand equal with the very forces that created existence itself. And deep down, Goku knew this was only the beginning of an even greater journey.